the sense creating it into separate modules. Now, what will be an advantage of creating the project or creating any application into modules? Why should we divide it into the modules is the question, right? So the reason why we need to divide it into the modules is reusability is one thing, and next is easy to maintain. The code will be easy to maintain and the code can be reused if we divide it into modular approach. Let's take an example of the mobile phone itself. So you tell me, like, if suppose your mobile phone's battery is gone, what do? Do you replace the entire mobile phone or just replace the battery?
Just replace the battery.
Right. Is it like, what if that mobile phone is one single unit, that is battery is embedded into your mobile phone? What needs to be done at that time? Consider that battery, screen and everything as one single unit, not divided into modules, not divided into components. What needs to be done in that case? Complete mobile phone needs to be replaced, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So that's the problem of writing the code like this, writing everything inside the main method. So what I have to do is, instead of writing the code like this, I have to write it within the methods like this. For example, let's say void add. Now, what would be an advantage of writing it like this and calling it here? See, I'm just going to write a system.out.println here, and I will say hello world. And here, let's say my second code, ms is equal to new my second code. This is how we create the object of a class. Fine. To call any function that we have created within the class, we create the object of it and then we call it as ms.add. Like we created scanner sc is equal to new scanner sc.nextInt. sc.nextInt was a built-in function provided by Java, and this add is the method that we are creating. Fine. So this is the better way of coding than writing everything inside the main method. This will give you the same result as it was giving me the result like hello world before. Fine. Same thing. But the advantage is that I can call it once again with one single line. Modular approach. Right. You can see 2 times it is called. And I can call it anytime. I can call it anytime. If I change something here, in both the functions, it will be changed. So code maintenance and reusability is easy if I divide it into functions. If something goes wrong with the add method, what should be changed? The entire program or just the add method? If something is wrong in addition, then what should I change? The entire program or just the add method? Just the add method, right? So that's why we divide the programs into modules, which is called as methods in Java. For example, let us implement this properly. Fine. I'm creating an add method and I'm one developer. I don't know who will be using this add method and how they want to add it. I only know that there are functionality of adding two numbers. That's just the functionality is what I'm focusing on. So I will say, whenever somebody calls this method, take some two variables, integer x and y, and add that. Display the result saying sum plus x plus y. Now, why am I writing it into that bracket also? I will tell you. See, writing functions like this, my work was just to add the functionality. I'm done with it. Now it is the responsibility of the caller to use it. Now, another advantage of using functional approach is that, see, this function can be used by anyone, like many a times, like ms.add. I can use this function to add 50 and 60. And once again, also I can call it and check the result of 60 plus 60. So 2 times it will be called and 2 times the same function is giving me different result, right? Yes or no? Is that an advantage?
Yes, sir.
Multiple times we can call it
Yeah.
modular approach. And if there is something wrong in it, then we can change it. For example, if at all there is something wrong here, let's say I've written something like this. And I'm testing value of 50, 60 and 60, 60. Is it adding it? Is the data added now?
No.
No, sir.
No, it's not added. What has happened?
Concatenation.
Concatenation. In the previous example, I told you plus is either used for addition or for concatenation. Now, why is it doing concatenation? Why it is not doing addition? See, the reason is simple. This sum
Because it in
is a
same
message,
bracket.
right? It's a string. Fine. And a string and an integer, can it be added?
No.
No, sir.
So because it is starting with a string, it cannot add it. That's why what we have to do is we have to put this x plus y into a brackets. When we put it into brackets, what happens is it follows your Bodemo's rule. Brackets open. So first it will calculate this and then come out. Fine. So x plus y will be added because both are integer, and that value will be concatenated with this sum. So sum, and it will show you the result this way. Fine with this?
Yes,
Is this
sir.
okay? Okay. Why functions needs to be created with argument is my next point. See, functions can be created with argument or may not have the arguments as well. If functions don't have argument, then first let me just create this function without any argument. If I'm creating add function without any argument, then I have to like give static values here, right? And this code will always only do what? This code will only do what? This code will only add 10 and 23. Any number of times you will call it, it is going to add that 10 and 23 only. All right. So is the function dynamic?
No, sir.
Static.
No. It's a static thing. So what we have to do is we should not create it that way. We have to actually create the arguments. I will put this in comment so that when you are looking at it, you can uncomment the code and see, okay, this was the solution for the above problem. So instead of creating it like this and calling add method like this, you create it with argument. And call it with a argument. This way you create it and you call it. Fine. So this is more dynamic, which can add any number, any given argument, right?